Hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make Coronation chicken. So it's not baking, it's a savoury dish, and Coronation chicken is a recipe which was created for the Queen's coronation in 1953 as a celebration dinner that people across the country could make. And it's actually served cold, so it's chicken which is chopped into pieces and mixed in with some mayonnaise and some curry powder to give it a bit of spice, and some mango chutney and such like. So a nice savoury dish, and these days it's often served in a sandwich or in a baked or jacket potato, the potato cut open and the Coronation chicken placed on the top, or it's served with some salad or something, or in a wrap. You can eat it any way you want basically. So it's actually quite simple. And you can make it even simpler if you buy cooked chicken. If you have chicken which is already cooked, then it makes it even simpler. But I'm going to cook the chicken, or poach the chicken, first. So I'll go on to the ingredients, and I have in my casserole dish here, or Dutch oven, a 1.5 kilogram, which is 3 1/3 pounds of chicken, and that's a whole chicken. And into that I'm going to place a cinnamon stick, a bay leaf, 5 peppercorns, and a teaspoon of salt, a pinch of saffron, and 2 centimetres of fresh ginger which I've cut into slices. I have another 2 centimetres which I will chop up finely for later on, or grate for later on. So that's all that we need for that, except that we need to then cover that with some water, and until the breast is almost completely covered. And I'm using some hot water because it will actually speed up the process of bringing it up to a simmer. So that's almost enough water. I'll just use a little drop more. That's good enough. If I put it in a smaller pan I would need less water, but that's fine like that. So I'm going to put that onto the stove, and I'm simply going to bring that up to a simmer. So I'm going to heat that until it's simmering. Now you don't need to watch that simmering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up until it starts simmering, and when it starts to simmer I'm going to turn the heat down so that it's just the occasional bubble is coming to the surface, and I'm going to cover the dish or the pan with its lid, and I'm going to leave that to poach for an hour and a half, even 2 hours, depending on how quickly it gets up to the temperature which I want. And I want 74 degrees Celsius or 165 degrees Fahrenheit when a temperature probe is poked into the thickest part of the thigh. That's the temperature I want to confirm for me that the meat is cooked. So we'll leave that going, and I'll go on to the remaining ingredients. And so for the sauce, or the sauce that's going to coat that chicken, I have 200 millilitres, which is half a cup plus 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise. I have 200 millilitres, half a cup, 1/3 of a cup of natural yogurt. I have 125 grams, 5 tablespoons of mango chutney. I have 50 grams, about a third of a cup of soft dried apricots, which I have chopped into pieces. I have 50 grams, which is about half a cup, of toasted flaked almonds. Now if you can get flaked or shaved almonds and they're not toasted, you can simply put them in a frying pan, a dry frying pan, and toast them on the heat until they start to release some oils and you can smell them, and that will be good enough. I have 12 grams, 2 tablespoons of curry powder. What strength curry powder you use is up to you. I have 10 millilitres, 2 teaspoons of Worcester sauce. I have, as I mentioned, another 2 centimetres of fresh ginger, which I will grate. And then I have about a tablespoon of chopped coriander. And that's all the ingredients I'm going to need. So once this chicken is started to simmer, as I said, I'll cover it and allow it to cook. And then once it's cooked, I'll come back and I'll show you it. And then I'll explain what's going to happen next. We need to let that meat cool down before we can do anything else. So I'll be back once this has cooked. So I poached my chicken for an hour and a half, and it had reached temperature, so it was fine. So I took it out, and it's been out of the water now, or the stock as it now is, for about 10 minutes. And I've taken the skin off, and I've simply pulled the breasts off the carcass for the time being. And it's still hot, but I want to cut it into pieces and it will cool down quicker that way. So I'm just going to cut it into sort of little bite-sized pieces, and then I'm going to cut the meat off the legs as well and the thighs and chop that up. So that's my chicken. I can probably get a little bit more off, but I don't need it. So I'm just going to let that cool completely, and as soon as that's cooled completely, we're going to make our sauce that we can mix the chicken into. So with my chicken cooling, what I've done is I have put my curry powder into a dry pan, and I've just heated it to toast it a little bit until it starts to release a lovely fragrance. And I'm going to put that into a bowl. And then into that I'm going to put my mango chutney, my Worcester sauce, and the ginger, which I have now grated. I'm going to stir those around. And then I'm going to put in my yoghurt and my mayonnaise. So I need 180 millilitres of yoghurt, sorry, 200 millilitres of yoghurt, and if you're not exact, it doesn't really matter. and then the same amount of mayonnaise. And that's good like that. And then I'm going to mix those all together. And put my apricots in as well and mix that in. And then I'm going to add the chicken, which is now cooled down. And mix that through to get everything nicely coated. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap and put it in the fridge to chill. I need to chill it for at least an hour, but I will actually chill it for longer. So I have let the Coronation chicken chill in the fridge for about an hour and a half, and the sauce has thickened up a little bit, as I thought it would do. So the final things to do is to sprinkle over the fresh coriander and stir that in. And you want to do this just before serving, really, if you can. And then when you serve it, sprinkle over the shaved or flaked almonds. So that's that. And I'd prepare this ready for a taste. So I'm going to eat mine with a baked potato or a jacket potato, and with some salad, basically. So for the purpose of this, I'll just have a taste of the chicken with the sauce. Very, very good. That sauce has a bit of spice to it, a bit of sweetness too. Very, very good. And then chicken is chicken, basically. So this is actually a very easy recipe to make. It's a bit hot for doing it today, but it's a very easy recipe to make. So I hope you'll give it a go. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.